Recently, there's been a series made that's taken YouTube over by storm. A series made by both YouTube's biggest menaces, Niko Omilana and Jidion. They made an announcement and posted a trailer for a series they made together, that being
The Biggest Menace.
And the winner is...
But before we talk about it, we have to ask ourselves a few questions of how did we end up here. Because I want this to play out like a fairy tale in the book, why not act like it is one? First of all, for those who don't know, what is The Biggest Menace? The Biggest Menace was a competition created by America's biggest prankster, Jidion, and the UK's biggest menace, Niko Omilana. Jidion would challenge Niko to what he would call a menace-off. The rules of the challenge being that each one of them are able to challenge one another to 4 challenges each. If one of them fail or didn't do the challenge, that would be considered a fold. And whoever folds first loses the series, and the other one is deemed as the biggest menace. This part may have not been intentional, however Niko Omilana and Jidion set the bar for the series. The year prior, Niko had only posted a total of 4 times on his YouTube channel. In the meanwhile, Jidion would continue being consistent throughout the year, until suddenly, on November 2nd, 2022, after Jidion would post a video called Karen Falsely Accused Me, that he disappeared off the face of his channel. This was relatively strange for Jidion's fanbase, as he'd usually post 1 to 3 times a month. That would be until he'd post his comeback 4 months later, but due to both of these YouTubers' inconsistencies, all of their fanbase would be awaiting their return, as Jidion would post the official trailer for The Biggest Menace on March 21, 2023. Now, this buildup was likely caused to either do an overload and his crew needed a break, or likely that they were busy making the series. And it could have been better if Jidion's upload back to his channel was the Biggest Menace trailer. However, this buildup was likely done unintentionally, so you can't blame him, especially since his fanbase was practically begging for his return on Instagram. And now it's my time to beg you to please subscribe, please. I edit all these videos by myself and I post each Monday, and I'm thinking about making more content of this style. Also, I'm doing whilst being in an exam period in school because I'm only 15, so that's why you should like and subscribe. Also, if Jidion and Niko just so happen to come across this video, I'd like to have an interview with you. My Twitter's in my bio. That's all. Thank you. The Biggest Menace would debut on March 26, 2023, with the first challenge being for Jidion to sneak in his own painting in the Louvre and in the same room as the Mona Lisa. This challenge would be a reference to one of Niko's old videos when he did the exact same thing a few years prior. Each challenge often at first would be around the same difficulty, or even worse, when Niko's challenge is being Jidion tricking him into meeting up with his lifelong enemy, Shannon Briggs, who wanted to kill him for a while.
Say sorry,
yeah,
champ.
I have. I've already apologized.
No, say it right now.
Messing with Rory McIlroy at the PGA Tour by using a remote control golf ball to try to get a hole-in-one.
Rory, stop! It's my dream!
Having a TED Talk in front of a live audience, acting like an incest man, and advocating for legalization of incest.
I have a 4-inch dick.
And finally, sneaking into the ring in a WWE event, paying reference to how he originally blew up by sneaking into YouTuber boxing matches, and gaining the name Ringside in the meanwhile.
Hey, yo! Let's go!
Jidion's challenges would, of course, being sneaking his own painting into the same room as the Mona Lisa, acting racist, and acting to be a biracial white man in front of a live audience, getting cancelled in the meanwhile.
White is right.
Running onto the field in the cricket game, and before I say this last one, it contains spoilers, so I'll give you 5 seconds to skip ahead. And finally, the final challenge being for Jidion to pull a Deji and saying the wrong name during an event ceremony.
The winner is...
in front of a fake audience filled with actors and extras. But of course, Jidion didn't know that, which would end up making Jidion fold, deeming Niko as the biggest menace. This year's would be a huge success for both creators, gaining both creators a total of around 43.3 million views as I'm writing this video, and 6.8 million views average. and will likely go up since I am writing this 5 hours after the finale was just posted. This series would help Jidion gain about 400,000 subscribers, and would help Niko gain about 350,000 subscribers, giving them a total of around 750,000 subscribers in the last 21 days of the series. By views, the fan favorites were the first episode, the fourth episode, and the last episode of The Biggest Menace. Niko's most challenging challenge will be the one we had to talk about incest in front of a live audience, and Jidion's would be his final challenge on a fake award show, which would make him fold. Now you may ask, Z, why other than useless information, how did the series change the fate of YouTube forever? And that is what this next chapter is going to be for. From the very start, this series alone will change up how people collaborate and change YouTube's collaborations in the future. When you usually think of a YouTube collaboration, you think of a one episode appearance from another known YouTuber, like when Beta Squad featured KSI and when Jidion featured Canal Joseph and did a video together. However, there's never been a collaboration series on YouTube. Even Jidion himself said that Niko and him did their research and searched up to confirm that they can get a Streamers Award off this, because that is the first ever collaboration of this type on YouTube.
Here's a little secret.
Bro, chat, man, I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. If we don't win a streaming for this next year, like, all this YouTube shit's rigged. Like, literally, we looked and we tried to see. Nobody has ever done a collab like this before, ever.
Knowing YouTube culture, bandwagoning, and copying ideas off of other YouTubers is how you gain fame and views, as we've seen other YouTubers do when the Mr. Beast situations. And without a doubt, this will change of how YouTubers will collaborate in the future. Having spent over $1 million,
Fucking spent $1 million on this shit, man.
and over 1 year in making, this series did not disappoint. But what is left now for them? With now The Biggest Menace being over, what's left for Niko and Jidion after the series? Many fans asking and demanding them for a second season, but will they go through with it? Often when shows release second seasons, they often fail due to unoriginality and because the stakes feel less high than the first, with each other knowing each other's weaknesses. However, second seasons are also known to be notoriously good. Basically what I'm saying is, second seasons are either a hit or a miss. However, knowing Niko and Jidion, their videos have only gotten better over the years, and a second season would likely be better not because the first season was bad, but rather because they just keep getting better. A second season has already been teased due to a now gone story by Jidion saying Netflix should give them their own series. Sorry for the slight interruption, but I was just watching Jidion stream and he just confirmed the second season.
But for season 2, I promise you guys, I will come back with a vengeance.
But speaking of Netflix, this series will likely open up different opportunities for Niko and Jidion due to the view rate and success of the first season, opening up possibilities like HBO Max, Netflix, and other big streaming services to offer out to make the series into the actual show. With a Netflix-like budget, Niko and Jidion won't have to pay out of their own pocket, and they'd be able to provide higher level challenges with a higher risk. Even whilst paying out of their own pocket, they'd still have to manage a lot of unnoticed details like the background and small memorials representing their challenges. Either way, The Biggest Menace will change YouTube forever and the world of collaboration because of the series. And the series will go down into YouTube history books with many other of their previous achievements.
We don't fuck with the NDL. Fuck the NDL.
Get you guys, don't take it there. I'm supposed to don't take it there.